So guys, it's coming up to my 2nd year anniversary as a salesperson, and I'm gonna be honest, it's been a really bumpy ride. From literally closing my very first $500 ticket deal for a business conference to literally 7 months down the line, making over $10,000 a month, selling water treatment systems door to door, and then blowing all of that money, to then going into remote closing for a startup company, collecting millions of dollars over the phone for them, to then building out their sales team, training up their sales team, to eventually then training people that knew literally nothing about sales to turning them into savages. With all that being said, I honestly look back on all my sales and my experience and look at that as with joy and gratitude, especially now that it's December 30th and tomorrow's about to be New Year's Eve for 2025. I look back on all my experience and I'm very grateful because, of course, the money is cool. Yeah, I made money, but money aside, it honestly built me into the man that I am today. And for me, it's not even the money that I made, it's more of the characteristics and the person that I became in the process, because I honestly think that's what's really important. And I know it might seem very corny, it might sound very corny, because probably it is, but in today's video, I want to go ahead and break down exactly why you should only be focusing on learning sales in 2025. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the business model. Everyone wants to start a business, which is amazing, right? Everybody wants to start a business, but the truth is, nobody actually tells you the nitty-gritty, the dark truth, the dark reality of running a business. They only tell you about the glamour, the beauty, but they never actually tell you about the nitty-gritty. And to run a business, you need 10 different skill sets. You need to learn how to market, you need to know how to sell, you need to know how to do fulfillment, you need to know how to hire people, you need to know how to manage a team, you need to know about the finances, you need a bunch of different skill sets, content creation, etc., right? You need to learn about a bunch of different skill sets. And the raw reality is that 90% of people, especially if they have never ran a business in their life, they are going to fail because they haven't even mastered one skill set. And the true beauty about sales is that if you just master that one skill set, you could leverage everything else and everything else kind of just falls into place. And honestly, that's why a lot of people fail in business, is because they haven't acquired those skill sets yet and they jump head first into deep waters, and that's why they eventually fail their business. Now, if you were to have, for example, a chessboard, you have sales, which is the king, and then marketing, which is the queen piece, and then all the other pieces are all the other skill sets that you need to run a business. Now, sales is the most important because marketing is just sales to the masses. And if you're gonna market, you need to know how to sell because you need to know how people think, you need to know people's objections and people's concerns. And sales allows you to be able to get the reaction of people very quick compared to marketing. It takes 3, 4, 5, 7 days, 14 days before you actually get a good feedback. So once you get really good at sales, marketing becomes easy. But that's besides the point. Because at the end of the day, the reason you want to get good at sales is because if you really get good at sales, no matter what business you start, doesn't matter if it's e-commerce, doesn't matter if it's Airbnb arbitrage, doesn't matter if it's real estate wholesaling, doesn't matter what business you want to start, you're going to need to know how to sell. And especially if you're going to be the business owner, you need to be the best salesperson, especially on the team. Because at the end of the day, when you're building a team, you have to sell them on your ideas, you're going to have to sell them on your mission, you're going to have to sell them on working for your company, because there's 10 other companies that they should work for. Why should they work for you? So you got to be able to know how to sell. And on top of that, the reason businesses fail is because they don't sell their product or service in quantities enough and in higher margins, right? So they're not able to sell as efficiently, and that's why a lot of businesses fail, because business, you need money in the business to make it last, right? And if you can't sell your product or service, you're not gonna be able to make your business last. And the reason why a lot of businesses fail is because they're not good at selling their product or service. So that's why sales is the most important skill, especially to learn in 2025. And especially if you want to get started with literally $0, because the truth is, majority of these businesses that you see, SMMA, e-commerce, drop shipping, Airbnb, all these different business models, you have to put upfront capital in there. It's not like you get to start with $0. You have to put $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 down, and especially the mistakes that you make are also going to cost you. But in sales, you don't need to put any money down. All you need to have is work ethic, grit, and a skill set. So a lot of you guys that are probably watching this probably don't have a lot of money to get started in a lot of these other businesses. That's why I'm saying learn sales in 2025 and only focus on that, because number one, you don't need money to get started, and you could go ahead and learn a skill set that's going to help you, and it's always going to be with you for the rest of your life. You're never not going to need sales. So if your goal is to make $10,000 a month in 2025 and not have to worry about all the headaches that a lot of business owners do, go ahead, learn how to sell and get a sales job. That's gonna be the best bet that you have to especially start hitting $10,000 a month. Now, if you were like me and you didn't know how to get started in sales, you didn't know how to train on sales, you didn't know how to find good offers, and you didn't want to be stuck in a dealership or in an office just making cold calls for a company and sacrifice your location freedom, I left a video down below in my description. It's a YouTube video. You could go ahead and click that link where I teach you step-by-step on number one, how to master the sales process using my Aikido method that helped me collect millions of dollars over the phone. And it'll also teach you how to go ahead and get really good at sales so you could go ahead and start making money online for a bunch of different offers. So go ahead, the link is down below. Go ahead, click on that video. It's gonna teach you a lot. Now, the second reason why you should learn sales in 2025 is that this is the vehicle, not the destination. This isn't something that you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life, like, oh, I'm gonna only be a salesperson. I honestly hope you don't just be a salesperson for the rest of your life, like a lot of people are. But this should be the vehicle, because at the end of the day, this is a skill set that you're gonna have for the rest of your life. For example, think of Batman. Batman, he went ahead, before he became Batman, he went on a mission and he went to the mountains to learn how to fight. And then he went to a bunch of different coaches and mentors to teach him skill sets, right? And that was for a long period of time where he garnered those skill sets. And then when he came back to Gotham City, he became Batman. It's the same thing that you're gonna be doing. You're learning a skill set, a superpower that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. It's like having the utility belt that Batman has, the belt with a bunch of gadgets. These are gonna be one of your gadgets, which is sales. And it's the most powerful thing. And the reason it's the most powerful thing, I want you to think about it like this. If you want a pretty girlfriend, you're gonna have to sell her on why she should choose you compared to all the other options that she has out there. That's a sale. If you wanna talk to business investors and have business investors invest into your company, why should they invest into your company compared to all the other companies? That's a sell. If you wanna have friends, why should they be friends with you and not somebody else? That's a sell, right? Even if you start your own business and you wanna get clients, you're gonna have to sell them on why they should work with your company and not everybody else's company. That's a sell. The truth is, everything in life is a sale. Life is sales. And if you don't know how to sell, well, the truth is you're at a disadvantage already. And it's also said that even God and the devil need good salespeople. Eventually, when you do build up your company in the future, and you have a bunch of people working under you, you're gonna have to sell them every single day on not just the money that they're gonna be making, but also the mission that you guys are on, the idea, your vision. You have to sell them on these things for them to stay with you for a long period of time. So that's why sales is so important. And the reason why it's so important is because this is a superpower. If you just really get good at sales, you'll be surprised how many people aren't good at negotiating deals, aren't good at selling, aren't good at closing deals. And if you're just good at selling, you're gonna be at a huge advantage compared to everybody else that starts their business or that's trying to start making money online or somebody that's trying to start their business in boutique or whatever. You're gonna be able to have an advantage over them because majority of people honestly suck at sales and they don't really pay no mind to it. They think they know about sales, but they haven't actually trained and tried to master it. So if you could actually focus on 2025 on mastering sales, you will be at a huge advantage. Because at the end of the day, if you're selling a product or service, you're transacting your value for a commodity, which is money. Now, how do you transact that? What's the tool? What's the skill that you use to transact money for your product or service? It's selling. And selling is just building value on your product or service. So that's why selling is so important no matter what you want to start. Now, the last reason why you should master and learn and only focus on sales in 2025 is because this is going to make you an amazing entrepreneur. For example, Mark Cuban, one of the sharks in Shark Tank, one of the investors, he said that if he were to lose all his billions and he was only left with $500 and a cell phone, he would literally just go out there and get a sales job. Same thing with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, believe it or not, at 9 p.m., he would literally call all the sales directors in all of his companies and teach them how to sell. And there's so many other highly successful entrepreneurs that all started in direct sales when they were younger and then eventually transitioned into running their own business. That just goes to show how important sales is. And the truth is, once you master the sales process and you understand the art of selling, you could honestly sell anything. Now, I wouldn't highly recommend just selling anything. You have to sell a product that you actually truly believe in, that you honestly think is gonna help somebody. I don't condone selling products that you don't believe in. But with that being said, you will learn how to sell anything. And just by understanding that process, you could sell water treatment, you could sell real estate, you could sell garbage bags, you could sell energy drinks, you could sell anything because you understand the mechanisms it is to be able to make somebody be sold on something and make them buy. So that's why sales is so important. And besides just the money aspect of it, the person that you become learning how to sell, I honestly think every young man and everybody should learn how to sell, because number one, it builds thick skin. You learn how to deal with rejection. And on top of that, you learn work ethic, you learn how to be resilient and how to persevere. And you know how to take a no and be able to turn it into a yes. And if you just have those characteristics in life, you will go very far, because that's all business is. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world, and you don't have to be the dumbest. There's people that are dumb and they make a ton of money, and there's people that are very smart that make no money, and then vice versa, right? But the truth is, the all qualities that these successful people have is that they're resilient, they have work ethic, they know how to handle rejection, and they know how to take a no to a yes. And it's just the characteristic that you become by learning how to sell. You just become more consistent. So if you just are able to get those skill sets, even learning sales, but you get those micro skill sets just embedded into you, you become a different type of person. You could honestly get anything you want out of life if you just learn how to be consistent, resilient, be able to be relentless, and be able to have a strong work ethic, and not be able to take rejection so personal. Because at the end of the day, everything that you want is in the hands of somebody else. So guys, those are the 3 reasons why I honestly believe you should drop everything that you're doing right now and only focus on sales in 2025. Now, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, click on the link down below. There's a YouTube video attached to it where I go ahead and break down step by step on how you could go ahead and start learning how to sell, learn how to make a lot of money with sales, learn my Aikido method, and actually start focusing and printing money in 2025, so you could go ahead and start being ahead of majority of people that are still making their New Year's resolutions. Until then, guys, I'm rooting for you, I'm excited, and I'll see you guys on the other side.